So I'm going to show you the difference between 3 of my legs that I use throughout the week. This one is my everyday walking leg. This right here, you can see that it's a carbon fiber spring. And so this allows me not only to walk, but I can start jogging. I can do plyometrics in this. I like this in the weight room. So it's very active, but not as active as this bad boy right here. Way more spring to it. That's my running leg. This is super cool. It's light. I can put my shoes on it. And then on my sprinting one, this is my sprinting leg. You can see the sockets are different. This socket is only carbon fiber. There's nothing else on the inside. This one has an inner socket that you can actually pull out. So the purpose behind that is so that we can have my trim lines lower. And so this hard carbon fiber, because it's rigid, we actually want a really anatomical fit around my knee. So we want to protect my knee when I'm running and also be flexible when I go through ranges of motion. So that's why I have an inner socket in my sprinting leg. So I have a sprinting leg right here. This is the socket. I got a one-way valve right here where it pushes all the air out but doesn't let it back in. So it can create a suction, or if I pull it with vacuum using something like a fresh saver, wherever I put it. Let's see, here it is. Using one of these bad boys. When I roll this sleeve, the silicone sleeve over this, I hook this up to here. I'll show you. What it's going to do is it's going to pull vacuum, creating creates even distribution of pressure around my limb to prevent any pressure points. So I got the sleeve on here too. Oyster sleeve, one-way valve hooked up. Boom. Focus on my knee right there. You'll see it starting to get tighter. I can feel it, and I can start to see it now. You see how the inner sockets around my knee. So that, now it's like super tight. It's like part of my body. So here's the other cool thing. People ask me all the time, what do I wear like on the bottom of my running blades? We got spikes. This is for the track. Obviously it's not for concrete. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll cut a shoe, we'll tape it on here for the hills. But otherwise, Nike makes these spike plates. We glue them on the bottom of our running blades, and it's nice because I can just screw in these spikes. Got a bunch of them, and this enables me to get ground contact and traction on the track in each phase of sprinting. So whether I'm in my drive phase where I'm on the toe, or when I'm upright sprinting, or even like slowing down, braking right here. So it's super nice. All right, onto my long jump blade. This is my long jump blade right here. This right here is an adapter. It's a temporary adapter where I can change plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, inversion, eversion, and rotation, medial and lateral. So super nice, but this is temporary. It weighs a lot more. So the goal of this piece right here that Oster makes is to find the alignment for either long jump, this is my long jump blade, or sprinting, and then get the final socket where it's just 2-bolt hole. So that way there's less problems for potential error, also a lot less weight. Here's the other thing. Look at the shape of this long jump blade. It is a lot different than you saw on my sprinting blade. So this long jump blade, you can see the toe is flat. This helps with smooth rollover when I hit the apex of the blade and I start to go to toe off, long jumping on the board. Another flexible inner socket. The reason why I have this right here is to prevent any hyperextension. So I have a little bit of pressure above my knee, kind of like a knee brace for snowboarding or football. So I get a sensory feedback. If I feel like my knee is going into hyperextension, I can make a correction, flex my quad, hamstring, glutes, so that way I don't go into hyperextension and injure my knee long jumping, because as the blade compresses, force is going to travel through my body and it's going to go wherever the weakest link is. So you want to be very stiff and very stable long jumping, and we want to prevent injury. So that's why I have this bar right here above the knee. The other thing is I have this pad right here. This is called a crepe, and this is a material, I don't know what material it is to be honest, but it's like for shoes essentially. And I have a spike plate, an older Nike spike plate on the bottom. And the only reason why I have this crepe here is essentially to create a nice smooth rollover, and also account for maybe if I want to adjust the height, easier to have a crepe where I can add the thickness, especially once we have a permanent socket. So this is my long jump blade, a little bit different shapes than the other one. The sprinting blade is shaped, the toe right here is shaped like that, so then I have more ground contact in the start. And then boom, I'll be landing right here. That's the apex of the sprint blade when I'm running. Long jump blade, a little bit different. We're gonna be planting right here and rolling over, taking off. Those are the 3 legs I use on a weekly basis.